and also if you were maybe taking any extra precautions this week.
Yeah, we've taken about as many precautions as you can take. We've been virtual really as of 2 weeks ago. So other than that, as I said last week, I'm not sure what else you can do. Really, the guys are only in for the most part for practice time, other than treatments for those needed. In terms of the COVID list, Cole Beasley, Gabe Davis, AJ Epineza, John Feliciano returned to the building today. So the current COVID list is Cody Ford, Cam Lewis, and then practice squad Quentin Morris, and Starr returned as well today.
Okay. And also, you mentioned Matt Ryan a couple days ago. You obviously had a lot of experience going against him, Carolina twice a year. What's the challenges of going against a quarterback like that who's seen everything?
Yeah, I mean, he's as good as advertised, and he was a headache for me in the division and for us, quite honestly. And there's a reason why he's been there for so long. He's a tremendous player, class act, and with a lot of respect for him. It'll be a big challenge for our defense this year, this week here.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Good morning, Sean. I'm wondering, did the CDC change yesterday? Did that impact three? I think Feliciano would have been up, but the other three, was that because of the CDC changing the protocol?
Yeah, I'm not going to be too detailed on individuals and who would have, who wouldn't have, but overall, just a general yes, Sal, in terms of the change in the protocols there.
Okay, and then if I could ask you about, I think you were asked Monday about Kyle Pitts, but if you could go a little deeper, maybe. It seems like he's just such a unique type of player. I mean, tight end is becoming what he is, but he really looks like a wide receiver. How dangerous of a threat, and how much do you have to prepare just for that kind of guy this week?
Yeah, unique challenge. Great player, young player, gets down the field. They line him up everywhere, in particular outside as a wide receiver at the number one position. And, he's a matchup concern, no matter who he lines up against. So, and it's clear that Matt Ryan is off to a good start in his relationship with Pitts.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Good morning, Sean. John Worrell here.
Morning.
Just now that you're coming off an emotional and a big victory, how do you prepare your team or guard against just getting too caught up in what happened last weekend? I know it's the 24-hour rule, but to come off an emotional victory and knowing that you can control what you can control now, how do you guard against just being looking back at this point?
Well, I think you turn the tape on and watch the Falcons team, and you know what you're getting yourself into this weekend. They're a good football team, and they've got a veteran quarterback that'll probably be a Hall of Famer someday. And they've got speed all over on offense, and matchup issues as we just discussed. Defensively, they've got a veteran defensive coordinator who's one of the top minds in football. And, so I think you just turn the tape on, and for those of us in the building, and you have to look no further than to look at the challenge we have in front of us coming into this weekend.
Well, that's very fair. And looking back you were very upbeat despite losing to Tampa Bay in overtime, in feeling that, in sensing that maybe the team had found something. Are we seeing the signs of what you saw and what people saw in your team in that second half, having gone forward through this, successful, 10-quarter stretch?
What's your question, John?
I guess, have you seen what you saw? You said something had changed in the second half against Tampa Bay. Do you continue to see those signs of progress that you saw back then? And maybe is it validating to think to have seen it and to sense that you guys might be on the right track right now, found something here?
Yeah, we'll see. It's a one week at a time approach, and we're going to need that. We're going to need the continuation of that if we expect to continue having success. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
Fair enough. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I know you said last week that when guys are coming back from the COVID list, it's very individual for each guy about how quickly they're ramped all the way back up. Do you expect the guys coming back today, will they all be full participants in practice today?
For the most part, yes. We have to keep it, again, individually based here, Catherine. And most of our practice will be a walkthrough format today. So may not be a true gauge for you in terms of the answer, but that's where we're at.
Okay, that makes sense. And then I was wondering for Emmanuel Sanders, coming back this past game, I know he had kind of a short week before of still working through that injury, but just over the last stretch of the season, what have you seen out of him and how you guys are using him?
Well, he continues to work. He's a pro all the way and continues to put himself in position to make plays for us. And I thought he made some huge plays in the second half of that game in particular last week. And we expect the same moving forward.
And then last for me, for Deion Dawkins, we had talked some about just the, logistical part of Sunday of whether or not he would start, having to put him in the game, but just on a personal level, seeing everything he's gone through, the second positive test after the really scary summer bout. Just how have you seen him handle that kind of unexpected second positive?
Yeah, he's very resilient. I think as you look at, he's had some experiences that some people haven't had at all. He's had two of those situations. So I'm sure he's learned a lot going through those and about himself and about how tough he is mentally and what this game means to him, having lost it for a period of time and now being able to get it back. And I was very impressed with the way he came in last week and gave us the lift that he did.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I just wanted to clarify one thing. Is your expectation that Star's fully back now and that, assuming everything goes well, he should play Sunday?
We're going to take it one day at a time.
Okay. And then on a separate note completely, now that we've kind of had a large sample size since Trey went down, how do you feel like the defense has responded to that? How you guys have game planned, not having him? How do you feel like that response overall has been since Trey went down?
Yeah, I've been impressed with Levi and Dane and the work that they've put in, and the defense continues to work every week to improve and get better, which is really what we're all about, and that's what I'm looking for this week as well.
From Dane specifically, have you kind of been? Is it what you expected? To see him kind of step up in this way, or what have you thought of his performance specifically?
Yeah, he's a young player that is a hard-nosed player for us, and he worked extremely hard during the week to get himself ready to go, and so there's going to be some ups and some downs, but I love how he stays mentally tough through the downs and level-headed through the ups part of it as well.
Thanks.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. You go back and look at last week, interviews, on the practice field, in the game. I saw the Levi Wallace video that came out. The composure that your team had last week in such a big game, it was noticeable. You get up, you win a big game. What is the challenge of keeping that going after such a big result like that?
Well, again, I think you look at Atlanta, you look at the opponent coming in here, and it's every week's a new week. So what we did last week is in the past, and what's in front of us in the front of our windshield right now is the Atlanta Falcons, who are a good football team and well coached. And will be a big challenge for us. So I don't think you have to look anywhere else but in front of us. And that's where you bank on the leadership on the team to set a great example during the week here for us as well.
Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Josh Reed here. Hope you're having a good morning.
I hope you are.
Cordero Patterson is such a unique talent. You look around the league, Deebo Samuel may be the only other guy that kind of does what he does, the way they move him around, passing game, running game. What's the challenge of kind of trying to figure out where he is on the field and know where he is on the field at all times?
Yeah, that's a big challenge because they change things. They change where he lines up, and he's in the backfield one down. Next down, he's out on the perimeter. Then he comes back in the backfield. So I think Coach Smith does a great job of being multiple with how he uses those guys, Pitts as well, and so it presents itself as a challenge, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint as well.
In your time in the league, I'm sure you've seen all types of unique talents. Is this something that maybe is a growing trend a little bit? I mean, obviously it's hard to find guys that can do, that kind of stuff, but have you seen stuff like this in the past, or is this something maybe that's a little new?
Yeah, I mean, it's more, I would say it's anytime it happens, it's unique when a player can move positions as much as he does and as well with Pitts. So I think, again, Coach Smith does a great job of utilizing the personnel that he has and putting them in position to be successful.
Thanks, Sean. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Hey, Sean, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. The catch by Devin the other day, I think it was your second play of the game, a real short gain that he sort of wills his way to the first down sticks. What did that show you, just that physical nature that he finished that play with?
Yeah, I loved it, man. One of the favorite plays of the year for me. I think that's a signature statement on his part. And it says a lot. I think it's just leadership by example more than anything, really.
Yeah. And then, I think it's been 34 carries the last couple of weeks. He's been heavily involved in the passing game. I don't know if you ever want to use the term feature back or anything like that, but, to see his involvement in the offense, particularly the last couple of weeks and what he's been able to give you, what do you attribute that to? And just, how satisfying is that for you to see him contribute in that way here the last few weeks?
Yeah, that consistency has been good to see. And it's clear he's raised his game, and he's raised his level of play to a standard that we've been looking for. And he's challenged at the same time. I think he's challenged everybody on the offense with his level of play and his consistency. So I mean, he played bigger. He's not a real big guy, but he plays bigger and he gives tremendous effort. And I think he inspires people by that. And like I said, that's the leadership by example thing that I mentioned a few minutes ago.
Very good. Thanks, Sean. Have a good week.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach. That's all we have today.
Okay, thanks, guys.